Okay, now we get to welcome Ken Fales to the stage as our guest speaker this morning. Yay, he's dancing up here.
Woo! Man, what a service. What a service. That was awesome. That was awesome. I love it. We've got like it's a real production today. Yes. What am I talking about today? Let's see. I've been going back and forth just for a long time about this topic and what I'm going to say. And of course, it all changed last night and then kind of got changed this morning. And dice roll. Let's do that. Okay. So we've been talking this month. First of all, the topic is overcoming silence, which this guy doesn't have trouble with. But it's overcoming silence, personal and collective liberation. And we'll get into that. I want to start with a few things that we believe in Science of Mind, that Ernest Holmes says we believe, and I tend to agree with him. I think we all agree on these things, but I just want us to have these things in mind as we're talking today. Hi, everyone online. We believe in the individualization of the Spirit in us, that all people are individualizations of the one Spirit. We believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. And we believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. So that's a big deal, right? This goal is sure to be attained by all, right? So I don't have to judge what path you're on, or you're on, and I don't have to tell you what you should or shouldn't be doing, because this goal is sure to be attained by all, right? So what it seems to suggest, those three things, we have a human self, and we have our divine self. And you know, we have that, what do they say? We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And Michael Beckwith says, no. We are spiritual beings having a human incarnation. Whatever, Michael, either way, right? Both teachings are awesome. Both teachings are awesome. Nothing wrong with experience. He says it's overrated. I get it. That's a good teaching too. But when we see that, right, that we believe in the individualization of the Spirit in us. So the Spirit is in us. We have a divine self in us, through us, as us, depending on, as you know, the degree we become conscious of it. Because when it says we believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it, that means we experience the individualization of the Spirit in us to the degree that we become conscious of it. That means that I can be experiencing heaven on earth right now, and someone else can be saying, this is hell. And we seem to be in the same place, but we are having completely different perceptions of it. So, take a look at what you see. If you are experiencing heaven on earth, handful of aces. If you seem to be experiencing conflict after conflict after conflict, also handful of aces. That's all right. You're on your journey. It's totally fine. We know that everyone will get to the point where they experience freedom from all discord. But, you know, there's a little something to be aware of there. I'm seeing a lot of conflict in my life. Maybe I need to go within. Maybe I need to spend a little more time seeking personal liberation. And personal liberation means I am finding out, becoming aware, experiencing that I'm not just human, that I'm divine. And as I begin to, I get a little sliver of that divinity. Oh, I'm liberated that much. Great. And a little more, and a little more, and a little more. Great. And as you become personally liberated, we have this race consciousness, and I mean the human race consciousness, where there's a lot of thoughts in that consciousness like, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, I'm scared, I'm little, I'm only human, I don't know if I can do it. And then you say, I am the divine. And put that into the race consciousness. You are helping collective liberation by doing that. You are putting that thought in the race consciousness that we can all access, right? So you're working for yourself, you're working for us all. And when we realize on the divine level that we are one, personal liberation is collective liberation. They're kind of the same thing. To recognize that I am one, that means everyone is one. We're all actually already liberated. We simply may not be having that experience because right now we're having a little bit more of a human experience. We're focused a little bit more on the beliefs that I'm only human. I'm only human, and this is hard. And it's relatively and objectively can be hard, but it is also as hard as we make it, is it not? When we start to overcome things, we realize, oh, that was as hard as I said it was, and no harder. So it matters. Our self-talk matters. And a few weeks ago when Liz was here, she stood up here and she read off the 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. One of those agreements, the first one, super important, is be impeccable with your word. And there, let me just get this out. This is pretty much just looking over Ernest Holmes' shoulder and copying from his paper, to be honest, but he says, your word is the power that you have to create. Your word is the gift that comes directly from God. Through the word, you express your creative power. It is through the word that you manifest everything. Regardless of what language you speak, your intent manifests through the word. The word is not just a sound or a written symbol. The word is the force. Your word is a force. It is a force. It is the creative principle. It is that thing by which we create everything we see. It is the force. Let go, Luke. Use it. Trust in the force. So, we get into this personal and collective liberation, and this starts to, what my mind goes to is, when I said on the divine level, personal liberation is collective liberation. But on the human level, personal liberation is not necessarily collective liberation. When a formerly enslaved person escaped to the north, it wasn't, boom, suddenly all enslaved people are free. That is not how it worked, right? I was born, my biological sex was male, and my gender that I identify with is male, and my name is Kenneth. And I tell you to call me Ken, and what do you call me? You call me Ken. But this one over here, this person was also born. Sexual biology, male. But this person doesn't identify as male or female. They say, I'm gender fluid. And I prefer if you call me they, them. And we hear a bunch of, I can't do that. I can't do that. So I've been liberated. Somehow I've been liberated from that problem, but not this person. So personal liberation is not necessarily collective liberation. So how then do I raise my voice? How do I overcome that silence and say, hey, treat this person as a human being? Because if you see somebody and they're breaking the law, they're hurting other people, and you want to say, I don't like that, that person's breaking the law, I don't like that, that person's hurting other people, I'm not going to say, you shouldn't say that. But if you want to attack this person because of their identity, because of who they say they are or who they are, that person has a different color skin than me. I will speak up. I will be the first person to say, no, 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 no. Not while I'm here. And that's me, right? That's the journey that I'm on. You're not going to see me out on a street corner with a sign protesting. That's not me. That's not the journey I'm on. But if that's the way you speak up, cool, great. And if you feel like, I just don't feel like I want to speak up, okay, cool, great. But if you're out there shoulding yourself and shoulding other people, I know I should speak up, but I know I should say something, but what? You know, love is the truth of who we are. And fear is a story. Fear says, I'm somebody else. I'm something other than all that is. And so because of that, I'm afraid of this, which is fine. If you're afraid, that's fine. That's where you're at on your journey. Be impeccable with your word. I am afraid that if I speak up, I'm going to lose my friends. So, having friends is more important to me than standing up for this person's rights. If that's the truth for you, that's the truth for you. Speak it out and say it. That's all right. That's where you're at on your journey. And if you speak it out and say it and you don't like that truth about yourself, then let's think about things. Let's think about what really matters. Say, you know what? I don't love that. I don't love that. If those people were my friends, they wouldn't cast me aside for doing what's right. I don't want friends that are going to cast me aside for doing what's right. I want my friends to speak up just like me. So you know what? In the future, I am going to speak up. That's what happens when you start getting impeccable with your word, when you start telling yourself the truth rather than sitting around saying, well, I should. Yeah, I know I should. And just leaving it at that. Don't should yourself. And don't should other people. Don't stand on the sidelines and say, you know what you should be doing. And you know what you should be doing? You know what those people should be doing? You should be doing this. And you should be doing that. And I'm going to get out on the street corner and tell you what you should be doing. If you want to be for something, be for something. But don't tell people what they should be doing. Don't let that be your, this is what I'm going to do. My contribution is telling everybody else what they should be doing. Because I find that people who say, you should be doing this, and this person should be doing that, and that church should be speaking out more and doing this, those people tend to be on the sidelines saying, you should be, you should be, you should be. Don't should yourself. Don't should other people.